So far we have been talking about array data structures, we have been talking about the implementation of lists in Python, but basically there is a huge difference between arrays and lists. So this is why in this lecture we are going to talk about what are lists in the Python programming language. So the problem is that we have been talking about array data structures, but basically there are no real array data structures in the Python programming language because almost everything is an object. And this is exactly why NumPy came to be back in 2005, because NumPy arrays are real arrays, while on the other hand, the Python built-in list data structure is not a real array data structure. So we can achieve even 50 times faster running time with NumPy. So this is why NumPy is an extremely important library as far as the Python programming language is concerned. It is implemented in Python, but the most crucial operations are using C and C++. So let's take a look at what is the problem with list data structure and how to use real array data structures as far as NumPy is concerned. So if we consider the built-in list data structure, we can come to the conclusion that basically lists are going to store the references or the pointers exclusively. And these references are pointing to the given values. So for example, if we are storing integers 34, 56 and 12, then these values are not going to be stored in the list data structure. The list is going to store the pointers to those objects, and these objects are located in different parts of the main memory. So everything is an object in Python, such as integers. So 34 is an object. 56 is an object, 12 is an object. These are so-called integer objects. So these values are stored in different locations of the memory, and the references or the pointers are stored in the list data structure. And the problem is that every reference is 8 bytes in size. If we are consider C, C++ or Java, we can represent an integer with the help of 4 bytes. Here in Python, we have 8 bytes just for the reference, and then we need some additional memory for the object storing the given integer. So this is why Python is an extremely convenient and easy scripting language, but it is not as efficient as C++ or Java, for example. Okay, so every reference is 8 bytes in size. And this is why storing a lot of items in lists has a huge memory complexity. On the other hand, NumPy arrays are stored in a continuous block in the memory, which means that items are right next to each other. This is what we have been talking about in a theoretical section for arrays, that if we have 4 items, then these 4 values are going to be located right next to each other as far as arrays are concerned. It is true for NumPy arrays, but this is not true for Python's built-in list data structure. There we have the items right next to each other, but these items are pointing to different memory locations. The first one is pointing to an integer object with value 34, the second is pointing to an integer object with value 56, the third is pointing to an integer object in a different location in the memory with value 12, and so on. So this is a huge difference between Python's built-in list data structure and NumPy arrays. So NumPy arrays are way more efficient than Python's list data structure. Thanks for watching.